Hey, and happy Monday, Tiffany.
You paused like you didn't know what today was.
No, I hit that. I turned off that music kind of quick. A little different, huh? I liked that song we were playing, so we're starting a little later.
And happy birthday to Joe Walsh, 76 today.
76. Wow, that's incredible.
He sounds pretty good too, huh?
Yeah, he sounded just like he sounded when they first made that recording. I'm so glad they were able to play here live. Okay, sorry I had to cut them off.
Well, the show comes first.
Exactly. But part of it is I wanted to hear that song because you know what? How often, that might be the last time we ever hear that song.
Oh, that would be so sad.
Yeah, that would be terrible. So
I already even heard it 3 times today too.
So
but today, this might be the last one, though.
That's right. There you go. So today, Tiff, what we're going to be talking about is mortality.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, I knew you were going to be squeamish or a little crazy about this.
Yeah.
Not so crazy about this, I'm going to say.
Okay.
But here's the thing I want to get home, or I want to drive home to everyone. I don't want you to think of this as a scary episode or a sad episode, anything like that. No, not at all. Okay. Think about this in the idea that we want you to understand that you're mortal, we're all mortal. So basically what it comes down to is we're not promised a tomorrow. And knowing that, the question is, what do you do to make the best of today?
Okay.
All right? So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's get this show started, Tiffany. All right? Hello and welcome out there in Radioland. You're tuned in to WRLR 98.3.
The Life.
Right. Oh, you got that right.
There you
go. That's right. We used to be called something else, but right now we're called
The Life.
There you go. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in again. We really appreciate you. Just a quick wave to everyone out there in the studio audience. Hello, everyone out there. Look at that. Every single one of them waved back. Isn't it amazing?
One guy pounded on the window saying, I want in. I know.
Well, you're going to have to wait. See, everyone loves you, Tiffany. Not just that security guard. Everyone loves you. So you're tuned in to Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock, and what our job is to help you navigate those paths of happiness. We understand that there's plenty of reasons to be sad, angry, or even afraid. I'm so lucky to have this living sound machine over here. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you that happiness is outnumbered 3-1, so we got to exercise that muscle. We're going to share some secrets with you so that you can share those smiles. All right, and so like I said, today what we're going to talk about is mortality. All right, every week what we do is we tackle an enormous subject, something that's been plaguing mankind since the beginning of time, something that all of our listeners call in and say, hey, can you talk about this? Something about the piles of fan mail we get. We dig through, and we dig through those problems to find those kinds of things.
You make me dig through them.
Yes, well, there you go. Well, because I think you're taller than me. I think you can handle that. Okay, they put the mail up so high here. So we do all of that up, and sometimes we just choose a subject at random. So the main thing is just the idea of making the best of how short our life is. When you think about it, the best chance we've got really is, I think the average lifespan is in the mid-70s for, I think women get to live a year longer than men.
I thought it was mid-80s, tell you the truth.
Oh, no, I think it's still in the mid-70s.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So when you think about that, women get to live a year longer because they have...
sorry, Marty. No, you don't have that much time left.
I'm due. That's why I'm saying, I might not make it to next week. All right. So let's keep that in mind. If you had 80 of anything, all right, and I'm just picking 80 as a random number because it's easier to say 73, 74, 82, 83. But if you had 80 of anything, you would cherish those things. You wouldn't waste those kinds of things. And so when you think about that, you only got 80 years, and every time a year is over, you get closer and closer to that end. So those few years you have left, they get smaller and smaller, and we should cherish those. Now then you look at those within each year, you've got 52 weeks, and 52, that I don't know if you know this, Tiff, 52 is a smaller number than 80. All right. So if you have 52 of something, you really want to cherish those as well. It always gets me, it bugs me when I hear people all the time going, oh, it's Monday. I hate Monday. I can't wait till this day is over. Right. And then they go, we work till Wednesday. Oh, it's hump day. I can't wait for the weekend to get here. Like, why rush through a week so quickly? You know, Friday comes and you're like, I just want to relax. Then Saturday comes, I got to go out. Then Sunday, I got to relax because tomorrow's Monday again. And we do this and we repeat it. And we push so hard and so fast to try to get through the week just to get to this fast weekend. And sometimes we don't even accomplish anything in the weekend other than take an extra nap, right?
Ooh, but that's nothing wrong with that.
Sometimes a nap is great. Or when people say, look, it's getting cold out. I can't wait for winter to end. Ooh. So it's springtime again, right?
And the clock's changing as daylight later.
I know it's that those are the great things in the future, but let's still treasure something about today. Why rush through another year if I've only got 80 of those? That means I've only got 80 summers. I've only got 80 springs, 80 winters, 80 falls, right? So why not find some joy in each one of those? I've got such a limited supply. And again, we have already used up a lot of them.
Yeah.
Right? So the precious few we have, let's really find something amazing, something to be joyous about, something to look positive.
Woohoo! It's Monday!
Exactly.
Yes!
That's right. Because here we make Monday fun day, right?
Oh, my goodness sakes.
What?
The next shirt.
That could be it. Yeah. Did you see? Did you see
I
it?
Did.
You like that
I'm
one?
going to get the sticker and put it on my
All
desk.
right. There you go. Remember, use OINK as the discount code. You get 20% off. Okay. So if you go to the site, masterhappinessgear.com, masterhappinessgear.com, what we're going to be trying to do is put up a new shirt or a sweatshirt or something like that with some fancy saying, something we come up with every week, and we're going to try to create a new shirt up there, and you can get it. So right now, because it's kind of the Black Friday sale between now and the end of November, if you put the discount code OINK, O-I-N-K, you get 20% off.
Oh,
all right.
Nice.
So there you go. Get all your Christmas, Hanukkah shopping done in one place.
So hopefully we'll figure out something for you this week, because last week was happiness is contagious.
Yes, yeah. That's a fun little design there.
It's very cute. It is. The whole smiley face.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, that's a good
All
one.
right. So let's get back into this. So what we do is every week we address a problem, we address an issue or something we want to talk about, and we apply a little bacon to it. All right, not the bacon for chewing,
but the bacon for doing.
Yeah, see, I got it right that time.
Yes, you did.
All right, So we're going to use the acronym BACON to take a look at mortality. In other words, how should we address this? What should we be thinking about every single day? So we're going to run through this really quick, and then we're going to come back and kind of discuss them in detail. Okay. This way, in case some of you out there who are listening in, if you just tune in and listen to the BACON, and then if you got to run out and do something amazing, go ahead and conquer the day.
But they could always come back and listen to on
the podcast.
The podcast.
That's right. Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. Anywhere you listen to podcasts. Anywhere.
iHeartRadio.
Right. Yes.
Spotify.
You got it.
Apple.
Oh, all of them. Google and more.
Wow. All right? Okay.
So let's get into this.
Okay.
So the B is this. Again, believe in yourself. This is what's so important. And the reason I'm talking about believing in yourself is so often what we are is we're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of talking about death because we're afraid. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to discuss it. We don't even want to think about it. So believe in yourself about the things that make you amazing so that you're not afraid of death. In other words, I did something amazing today, so I made the most of the day because I can do that. A is adventure is out there. All right.
I like that one.
I knew you would. All right, because, Tiffany's our little adventure girl here. All right.
That's a good one.
C is cherish life's moments.
Aw.
All right. Because
I like that one, too.
Oh, there you go. Look at these. All of these could be T-shirts. O is open communication. All right. In other words, just talk with people. And then N, now is the time. Right? Don't wait. All right. What do you don't like that one?
No, I kind of it really fits.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That might need to be the shirt.
Now is the time. Oh, well, we'll see.
That actually it speaks about everything.
Well, today what we're going to do is, because we don't know if we're going to make it to shirt time, so we just have to seize the day. Carpe lardum. You ever heard of that term? No. Carpe lardum means seize the bacon. All right.
It does not.
Yeah, it does, really. I have a T-shirt like that. If you go to masterhappinessgear.com, you find the Carpe Lardum T-shirts. All right.
That's a very big word.
Oh, it's not that big. All right. So anyway, Tiff, when we're talking about death or mortality, sometimes it can be like an uncomfortable topic, right?
Yes.
A lot of people just don't want to talk about it. They don't want to think about it. You ask people, especially older people, you say, so you ever think about dying? No, I think about dying every day. Stop talking to me about it.
But other people are like, yeah, let it come.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ready.
Right. And that's even sad too. Let's touch on that in a little bit. But the idea here is this fear of the unknown can kind of like be an obstacle for us. It can kind of hinder our ability to live life because we're so worried about dying. We're so worried about, oh my God, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this. We don't enjoy the day. We can't live our life to the fullest because we're so worried about this other kind of stuff. All right. But if we accept mortality, if we accept the fact that we are going to die, and just by saying that and accepting it, there's a liberating feeling about this. There's a stress taken off of us going, I know I'm going to die. And if that's the case, then what should I do right now? Okay, how should I make the best of it? Okay, and so this is what's really important. That's why we're going to go through this. And so I hope that people can use these 5 clues we're going to give them. The believe in yourself, adventure is out there, cherish life's moments, open communication, and now is the time. I hope people can use those 5 things to just go out there and embrace our mortality, embrace the fact that we're here for a short period of time. Just go out there, savor life, love life, do something amazing, be amazing. Just take a big slice of life and eat it all up. All right? Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Take a big slice of our life and eat it all up. All right. Okay, so Tiff, let me ask you here. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh boy.
Tiffany.
Okay.
And for those of you who've just joined us, welcome. I'll give you guys a special wave. If you're new to this show and you're in Radio Land, we'll give you a moment. Everyone, just raise your hand. Wow!
Here's a few new ones.
Look at that. That's amazing. There you go. Oh, there's another guy way in the back there. Ooh. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, Tiffany, let me ask you this, and I was going to say for those of you who are new, I asked Tiffany a lot of these questions. She is not prepared for these. Nope. She has no idea. In fact, she gets a little terrified.
A little bit.
Exactly. So, Tiffany, think about this. If and it's going to be a multi-part question, but if you were told you only had 2 years to live.
Okay.
2 years. Okay. What are some of the things you think you would do?
Travel.
Okay, but like where? Just travel in general?
I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is there places? In other words, 2 years, because you can't go obviously everywhere.
I could take a world cruise,
That's
and
true.
I could pretty much go. Oh gosh, I love waterfalls, and I know we talked about it before.
No, that's cool.
Niagara.
Okay, I would love to go to Niagara Falls. Yes,
and I saw some. The highest one, I believe, is Angel Falls.
Yes,
and is that in South America? I think
could be
somewhere.
Yes. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but see. I saw that Iceland has some real beautiful waterfalls, and then I could see the Northern Lights.
Okay, there you go. See, so now that's cool. I just like that you've got some different ideas like that. And so, remember, we had a show before where we talked about a bucket list and how much I said I don't.
I like bucket lists. You don't like bucket lists.
Because I prefer to call them plan pails. In other words, actually put a plan.
Plan pails.
Exactly, because a plan means that I'm going to pick a date and I'm going to say, this is what I have to do in order to make it happen. A bucket list sometimes goes, oh, that would be cool if I could do that. And then what ends up happening is sometimes you never end up doing it.
Nope.
So that's why I don't like bucket lists.
You're
Just
right.
the plan. Make a plan to do it.
You're right.
So I want you to think about some of these things that you really want to do. And everyone out there who's listening, think about the things deep down inside that you really want to do. If you could only live 2 years, what are some of the things you'd want to do? And just try to at least grab onto one of those things and say, I'm going to make a plan to make this a reality.
Yeah. One of my friends said she would, because another plan bucket on me is
plan bucket?
Plan bucket. Isn't that what you
Plan pail.
Oh,
plan pail.
Well, that's kind of close.
You take a gallon of goals and pour it into your plan pail. There you go.
It's whitewater rafting.
Oh, there you go.
So I have a friend that has gone several times.
Yes.
So I told her I wanted her to go be with me.
Yeah.
And she was all for it, except stupid COVID.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was bad.
So, I mean, think about that. COVID we only have like 80 years. COVID took 2 of them away. That's how precious time is.
Like 2.5, 3,
exactly.
close to that. Yeah,
right.
I know.
So we don't even know if, it's not to say we're going to die tomorrow, but we don't know if something else is going to, what if the next thing takes 5 years away from us?
Right.
Okay. So that's what it's, so when you have the opportunity, seize the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and do it. So I want you
I agree with you 100%.
So now think about this. So that's 2 years. And so I started with 2 years because that's a safe number.
I knew what you were going to do.
Right.
Yep.
So now let's say that you knew you were only going to have 1 year.
I knew you were going to drop it. I knew you were going to do that.
And you think about that. What would you want to do in 1 year? What would you like to see happen? What would you like to make happen? Okay. And it's a tough one. And Tiff, and a lot of people are going to listen and say, I'm copping out. But a lot of what I do is, I'll tell you, I live in a lot of ways my best life ever. Okay. Could it be better? Could other things be happening that are wonderful? Yes, of course. But I surround myself with really loving people. I connect with people I care about. I have an opportunity to show love and receive love. I have such an incredibly wonderful wife who lets me play, okay, in life and explore my dreams. Okay. And so she does such a good job like that it's difficult for me to say in a year, because I've accomplished so many of these things, because I do not put things in a bucket.
No,
I put
you
things,
don't.
if I plan for it, if something, I think about it, I'd say, then
yes,
let me have it.
Yes,
and
you do.
And if I look at it and I go, well, let me postpone it. It gives me a day or two, and I come back and I go, I didn't really want that anyway. Okay. So it's tough for me to say, what would I do in a year? What would I do in 2 years, et cetera? But what about you? Is there anything that you would say in 1 year?
So now it's shortened.
Yes.
I would go around and visit all my friends and family.
See, I like that.
I have a lot of friends and family outside of the state.
Yeah, yeah.
So it wouldn't be just like driving 20 minutes and seeing the friends. So I have friends all over the country.
Okay.
So I'd do a road trip.
Nice.
Meet up with my friends and family.
Yeah.
Kind of to say goodbye, but spend that time with them.
You do have to, in some ways, and I know, again, it sounds morbid, but the reality, sometimes when we meet people and like something, people live out of state, sometimes when you go and talk to them, you have to realize that might be the last time you ever see them.
Yeah.
Whatever the reasoning is, no matter what the age is, no matter what their health is, that could possibly be the last time. Now, you both might live another 60 years after talking to each other, but maybe life gets in the way and you never get a chance to see them again. So that's the kind of thing that just happens.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we live in such a wonderful world now that we can reach out to people with a phone call, with Zoom, et cetera. We can do so many different ways of talking to people. Still doesn't replace the human touch of just being able to be in the same room with someone and talk with them, give them a hug, tell them how we really feel, give them that, say, why did I make this trip? Okay. I've only got a year and I'm wasting a day on you. Okay. So I like that. So Tiff, when you think about this, isn't this cool how you just even had this own epiphany, which rhymes with Tiffany, you had your own epiphany there of saying, if I had 2 years, I would do this traveling, which was more like me-based, which is cool. Now we shorten it to a year, and it's kind of like, it's still me-based. In other words, it's the joy you're going to get out of it, but you want to share it with family and friends. You want to spend more, you want to spend it with people as opposed to seeing things.
Okay.
Now shorten it. We'll only do this a couple more times. Now shorten it. Now shorten it to 1 month. Okay, just 1 month. Think about that. In 1 month, what are the things you could do, and how would you do those things? And what would you want to accomplish in 1 month?
See, now, since it's
I love
short,
playing this game with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I would want to do anything.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I think I might just want to stay home in my house, maybe with Mark and the dogs.
Yeah. Oh, poor Mark. I mean, oh, yay, Mark.
So I think to that point, I might just want to stay home and be homebodied.
Okay, but would you call people? Or what do you think?
I don't know if I would.
Okay.
Because it's such a short time.
Yeah.
You can't, if I call them, oh, by the way, I'm dying in a month.
Yeah.
Take care, bye-bye.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to do that.
Right.
Because it's such a short time.
Okay.
So I think maybe I would just want to stay home and spend my last moments with the dogs and Mark.
Nice. So there, see, it's cool how
it's so different.
Right, because the circle changes.
It totally does.
Because now you're closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
Now you think about it, how about this if it was tomorrow? The doctor said tomorrow, like this is your last night. Okay? Just think about that. that whole thing of what would you end up doing. And even, because sometimes you would say the same thing. Maybe you'd want to spend time with Mark, you want to spend time with the dogs. But I know for myself, I would want to do that. I want to make sure I spend, I'd want to be at least in communication with my kids. I want to spend time with...
you have kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure I really give Christy the biggest hug I could possibly give. But then at the last moments, I would want to be by myself. Yeah. I think I would just want to say, this is it. I don't want to have someone see me just disappear. I think that's what I would want. Okay. Yeah. And so it's interesting how you just came through this whole thing, that in 2 years you look at this and you're saying, I want to see the world. 1 year, I want to see my friends and family. 1 month, it's just really close with my inner circle, the closest entities in my life, let's say. And then if it was really close, it's almost like I need some time by myself.
There's a girl that I went to high school with, and she had passed away, and she had cancer, and she did not anyone, including her husband, to see her in the last days.
Yeah.
She wanted to be by herself. She did not want anyone to see her at the worst. She wanted them to remember her the best.
Sure.
So
exactly.
when you said you would want to probably be alone, that reminded me of her, that she did not want anyone around. She wanted them to have that memory of the healthy. I
think I also know that I would be doing this whole thing. I want to be alone. I would tell everyone, just leave me alone. I'm going to go in the basement or whatever. And then I go up the stairs. I go upstairs, open the door. Really? Nobody's going to come down here.
I totally see you doing something like that.
And they'd be like, "Are you sick?" I'm like, "Oh, fine.
I totally see you doing that. That's so you. Oh my God, that's funny.
All right. So with that, I think it's interesting to when you talk about this and our own mortality, and you put it into words like this. And that's why I didn't want to start it with, what if you were told that you were going to die tonight? I mean, that's the scariest sounding thing. So you start with a larger piece, like we talked about. You have a total of maybe 80 years to live, and you calculate in your head, that means I have so many years left in my life. Go down to these 2 years, 1 year, 1 month, 1 day. You start really prioritizing the things in your life that are the most important. And when you think about this kind of stuff think about when you go home, when you go to work sometimes, or you get in an accident, or someone cuts you off in traffic, or someone is mean to you at the store or whatever, and you let that rob you of our precious time. We allow somebody else to make us angry. We allow someone else to make us sad or fearful.
Take your power.
Right, exactly. And you're sitting there going, I only have so much time left. How dare you take that from me? And how dare me? Why do I allow them to steal my precious time? Because that time, every minute, is so precious. And so I understand that a lot of that is we don't have control over it. If we're scared, right? And we've talked about how to deal with fear, and we talked about how to deal with anger in previous shows. But it's important to understand that and really fight for it, and fight for that happiness more than ever before, because we understand how limited our time really is. Okay, so let's get into this. And how do we do this? Because it's easy to talk about this, but let's jump right into this whole idea of believe in yourself. And before we get into that, Tiff, do you have some quotes for us?
Oh, boy.
Do you? You better hurry. We only have limited time, Tiffany.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. Death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, because it's death is right around the corner waiting for us. It's grinning at us. And so you're right. Accept it and just deal with it. And don't let it haunt us. Don't let it scare us. Just be able to smile right back at death. I like that one a lot. Who said that one?
Marcus Aurelius?
No, Marcus Aurelius.
You know him?
Yeah. He was my neighbor. No, Marcus Aurelius. He was one of the great Caesars of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I feel bad that I didn't know who he was.
No, that was very good. He was, a Caesar, a philosopher. He was just, you will find so many great quotes from him. Huh. All right, so good job on that one. Huh. All right, so when we talk about believing in ourselves, that's the B, believe in ourselves. All right, remember we've talked about how our beliefs shape our own reality. We can be so scared of something, we can scare ourselves to getting sick, right? You get so worked up, we get an upset stomach. So understanding that we have that type of power to get so scared we can get sick, we also have that power. We have enough power to also be happy enough to feel better.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah, there you go. That's way deep.
And you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If you aren't getting yourself so worked up to get you physically sick, why can't you be total opposite?
Exactly.
Wow.
So
that's how you make me think of it.
Yeah, you like that. All right. Yeah. All right. So instead of worrying about the future, just focus more on the present. Okay. And all the things we can do with the now, what's going on right now. All right. It's a lot of times we have punished children who are always like, well, I want to do it now. I want to do it now. And we're always like, no, be patient. We'll do that in the future. And it's that idea that they have a grasp of reality. They have the grasp of what the importance of today is. Now, I think we need to understand that, we have to plan for tomorrow. We have to prepare ourselves for a longer life. But we also have to be able to just embrace today and find something wonderful about today. Okay? We have to come up with some type of a mantra for ourselves, whether we meditate, whether we congratulate ourselves, something to remind us that we made the best of the day. All right? So that's what's so important. And when I say believe in ourselves, it's that same thing, is find some time to dig down deep inside and understand the positive impact that we have in the entire world. Okay? Just like I said, when somebody cuts you off and we can get angry, when we do certain things, we can create a scenario that angers people, just like we can create scenarios that brighten people's days. Right? And so it's the whole thing. I don't have to explain it to you. You're the queen of the smiles, right? That's right. You go out there. We have to share those smiles. Smiles are the coolest thing to give away because it doesn't take anything from you. Right? There's a lot of reciprocity there. In other words, I give a smile, I get a smile. Okay. And I can keep giving them and keep giving them. I don't run out of them. I don't run out of happiness. I can continue to give it. You can't give time. You can't give money because you can eventually run out of those things. But that happiness that we share, that love we share is never ending. Okay. So believe in yourself because we have that incredible power, not only to heal ourselves, but we have that power to also heal and help other people brighten their days. Okay. And we know what they always said, almost every religion, every culture says the true path to happiness is being in the service of other people, helping other people. Remember that?
I do remember that.
All right. Do you remember my favorite Chinese quote? No, you're not going to remember. That's okay. You're looking down at your notes? It's a four-part it's the four-part quote where it's, if you want to be happy for...
If you want to be happy for an hour, take a nap.
Bam, yeah. You want to be happy for the day?
Go fishing.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. You want to be happy for a year?
Go help somebody.
Well, no. That's a year is win some money or inherit some money, something like that, and you'll be happy for a year. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life.
Oh, that's when you help somebody.
That's right. But I mean, you can help somebody. Instead of taking a nap, you can help somebody. All right. That it all works. So that's the whole idea. Is that it makes so much sense of just help other people, and the joy that you get from that is amazing. And this is also a very appropriate conversation to have because we're right here at the a couple nights before Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because what we're able to do is be thankful for all those things that have happened in our past, all those things that made us who we are, and it's time for us. What's great is I always view November, because of Thanksgiving, as kind of the let's be thankful for all the things that have happened to me as we lead into December, which is filled with many holidays, and it's more about the generosity and the giving. So we start with this being thankful for everything we've received, and we go into a season where it's, and now let's give this to everybody.
And then the new year that you want to start scratch and start fresh.
You start fresh and you wipe everything clean and you say, now let me take a close look at the mistakes I've made in the past and how can I improve my life and start it all over.
And then after a couple of months after that is Chinese New Year, so you get to start again.
Exactly. And then we run into Valentine's Day, so we can show our love to other people. Right. All right. Plus then my birthday, and there's all kinds of good stuff. But anyway. Never too early to celebrate my birthday.
Oh, God.
All right, so the next one, so that was B, believe in yourself. The next one is A, is adventure is out there.
Whoa,
all right,
this
is the one that should be your middle name.
And it is.
It is. Adventure is out there is your middle name, right?
Life is a venture. Live it.
Bam. There
Bam.
you go. Life is a ride.
Ride it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Life is put on your seatbelt. All right. So anyway, life is too short to spend it all doing just one thing, right? So take a break from our routine. What we end up doing is, what do? We get up in the morning, we have our coffee, we grab a bagel or whatever, go to work, have our quick lunch that we put in a brown sack. All right, bologna again. Why do I make my own lunch? Then go back to work, come home, right? Have that martini, sit in front of the TV, fall asleep, to wake up the next day and repeat the same thing.
Yep.
Okay. And so that's why life gets so
It does.
mundane and so boring, and it drives us crazy. So instead, change it all up. Do something different. Make sure that you have something to say. I'm creating something today. I'm doing something. I'm helping someone. Even if it's to say, this week I'm gonna do something amazing. All right, this day I'm gonna do something amazing. This hour I'm gonna do something amazing. Just do something out of the ordinary. I liked the simplest thing of even brush your teeth with the other hand.
Oh my God, that's when we first started the show.
I know,
you said that.
We talked about that, and it just changes your mindset. It just like gives you a kick, knocks the dust off of you, and you just start thinking a little bit differently. So that's the kind of stuff, and we're talking about an adventure, and I'm going, you know what? It's an adventure. Brush your teeth.
The other hand, yeah.
But in other words, go out there and just do something different. Again, it's look into your dreams and your aspirations, all those things you wanted to do in the past, and say, well, if I can't do it today, let me actually start making a plan to do it. Okay. Now, you've heard the term of a SMART plan, right? It's SMART, a SMART plan. Have you ever heard that term?
I don't think
No.
I have.
Okay. So what they do is it's really important, because that defines a goal. Actually, they're SMART goals, and it's an acronym, so that's why I love it so much. It starts with S, being very specific. So like you said, I love waterfalls. I really want to go see Niagara Falls. So that's specific. All right. Then the M is measurable. In other words, did you pick a date that and can you say, I either went there or I didn't go there? All right. And so sometimes when you say, I just want to be happier, that's tough to say it's measurable, but you can say it's measurable. I went to Niagara Falls or I haven't, right? The A is it attainable? Is it something you can actually do? And so yes, going to Niagara Falls is definitely something you can actually do. R, is it relevant? Is it something you really want to do? Yes, I truly believe you want to do it. And then the T is it time bound? In other words, pick a date and stick to that date. Because if you don't do all of those things, then they just become arbitrary things you do. No deadlines. So you're like, I could do it. I don't have to do it, etc. But if you can apply all those things, make it specific, make it attainable, relevant, measurable, time bound, etc. If you do all of those things, then that shows it really means something to you, and you can actually get it accomplished. Okay. So
Smart.
Right, smart. So I want you to pick a date. You don't have to pick it today, but pick a date that you're actually going to go to the Niagara Falls. All right? Pick a date. You got 2 years. That was your plan. All right. Okay, you got it. All right, so these are the kind of things. These adventures are out there, so just take advantage of them. Even if it's just, I'm going to take a different way to work today. All right? I'm going to drive to work. I'm going to take a different way. I'm going to change what, instead of coffee, I'm going to drink tea. Instead of tea, I'm going to drink lemonade. Whatever it is, just change up life and live it, right? That's what's the most important. All
Yeah.
Right? There you go. What about another quote from you there, Tiff? You got something for us?
Time is a great teacher, but unfortunately, it kills all of its pupils.
Oh, wow. I do like that one.
Do you really?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Who said that?
Okay, you're going to help me with the last name, but it's Hector.
Where is that one?
So I think the third one down, Hector.
Hector Berlioz.
Oh, you said that nice.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah,
you
there
even
you
had
go.
that little.
I don't. I'm not sure who.
You
he
don't
is.
know that
no,
one?
I don't know that one. All right, but brilliant. I love that. It kills all its pupils. I love that. But it's so true, because time teaches us all these things, and then by the time too often we don't take enough time to reflect on what we've learned, and then it's too late. Time's over. Right. So learn something every day. All right, next one. So we've done so far. B is believe in yourself. A is adventure is out there. C is cherish life's moments.
Oh, this is so true.
Yeah, just
So
all
true.
these little things.
No, absolutely,
Okay?
the little things.
Yeah. So I was teaching the class on Sunday. So I teach to these kids public speaking.
You took your head, these kids, and you went like short.
Really short, yeah, because they're little kids, right? And so we play this one game where it's called like good news, bad news, good news, bad news. And we go through it like this. And so we pick something and we start, and the first kid has to, with enthusiasm, with drama, say how terrible this is, right? And we'll pick something like the one was in the morning, I realized we had run out of bananas, and I didn't have a banana for breakfast because we don't do anything too drastic. And so he got to, I got up in the morning, I was dreaming about having a banana, and then I show up and I realized we were out of bananas. So that was the bad news. The good news, and then the next kid comes, but the good news was I also love apples, right? And there was lots of apples, right? And so the next kid comes in and says, but the bad news is all the apples had worms in them.
Oh, no.
Right? And so the next kid was like, well, now there's no good news. There's no possible good news. And I was like, no, wrong attitude. There's always good news. There's always things you can think about. You could say instead of apples, there was also pears. There were oranges or something like that.
Or eggs.
Or eggs. There you go. Or you could say, and I love eating worms. Whatever the deal is, you can come up with something positive. Don't live in this negative mindset where things are always awful.
You're teaching them young.
They're young. There you go. One kid is really tiny. Okay.
It's good. You're teaching them how to think positive.
And think both ways, going back and forth. And it forces them to do this because the bad part, and then there were worms. That's the funny part, what they all loved. Yeah. But the good part is kind of like, it's really the lesson.
You could totally see their mom saying, gosh, dang it, we're out of milk. And then the kid saying, yes, but mom.
Yes. Mom.
we got almond milk.
Yes, right. Yeah, we could buy a cow, right?
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's a cool game, and it makes us realize that if we take our time, we can find good in everything. There's a positive to it.
That's very
cool.
And
I think we talked about this before when we did talk about death once. We had a whole show on death. That's the one. That's the one you really didn't like.
I did not
at all.
like that one.
Okay.
This one isn't as bad.
No, because this is we're trying to look at the positive side of it.
Yeah.
But that was the thing of what I like is more and more now what we do is when people die at a funeral, we celebrate the life of the person instead of just when I was a little boy and the first funerals I had gone to, you'd see there was the body laying in the casket and the wake would be there and everyone was crying and everyone had to be dressed in black and all this kind of stuff. And then it suddenly became okay and looked fondly upon when they would put up a poster of photographs.
Oh, right.
This is who the person is. This is their entire life. And you saw more people congregating around the photos than the casket.
Yeah.
Which was always to me a little morbid. Like, why do we have to sit here and then we're just going to be sad and we're going to cry? How long am I supposed to cry? What am I supposed to say? But when you're around the photographs and stuff like that, conversations just start going, oh, I remember that photograph. Oh, tell me more about what happened here. And you really end up talking more about the life. So that's what's so important about this whole cherish life's moments. And even at a point like this, when you are at a funeral where you would consider that's the end of their life, it's still okay because you can talk about the things in the past. You can be thankful and grateful for what has happened and what that person has brought to my life and what the person has brought to everyone. All right, so cherish life's moments, all those little things, okay? Even a weed, all right, in the middle of the lawn, even a weed, when you look at a weed, it's still a beautiful flower. I mean, I understand that sometimes we look upon them going, I don't want these weeds in here. But when you look at them, they're that beautiful yellow, a dandelion, okay? And before that, or after that, when they turn into those fluffy things and they blow around, they're gorgeous living things that we look negatively about. And I just like using that as an example of, I don't think anyone can really look at the flower, a dandelion, and say it's an ugly thing. So, what it stands for and what it does to their lawn, they might say is ugly, but the flower itself is a beautiful flower.
Yeah, and then the flower, the bees.
Yeah.
That's the first flower of the year that they could get the nectar.
I didn't know that.
And it was so cute. I saw, I was sitting there just watching when the dandelion turned into the parachutes.
Yes, okay.
Like there was a little buddy, eating it, and he started at the bottom. So he was eating it, and it was so cute because it looked like he was smoking a cigar.
Nice.
You know, and he was
Nice.
just eating it, and then he had all these fluffy things all over his face, but he was still eating
Nice,
even
nice.
the seeds and everything
Sure,
like that. But
why
it was
not?
so cute. So
Yeah.
if you didn't have them, then the bunnies couldn't eat
There
that,
you
and
go.
then the bees couldn't get
See,
their.
and I love that you immediately knew a story that was talking about how wonderful a weed is. Okay, where most people are like, oh, weeds, and you're like, oh, but there's a cute little bunny, and then we ate the bunny. No. All right, all right. So far we've done believe in yourself. Adventure is out there. Cherish life's moments. Next is open communication, and I think this definitely ties in with what we were talking about earlier. If you only had 1 year, what to do? It's that open communication. I would talk to people, tell them how much you love them, tell them what you mean to them, what they've done positive in your life, the things that you've done. You know, sometimes people are like, you know what? I have to give them a piece of my mind. I have to tell them how they hurt me, how they made me feel terrible, and I think that's. In some ways, you got to get it off your chest, but why are you wasting your time trying to make that person feel bad or trying to get them to apologize for something? Because it doesn't make you whole again.
Right.
All right. So instead, sometimes what you end up doing is I think people will understand if you avoid them. And I don't want to talk to you anymore. Well, why? Well, because, you know, we had a conversation before, whatever. You hurt me. We don't even have to talk about it. I just don't. You're not in my close friend group anymore. Okay, let's not dwell in that kind of stuff. Let's not try to bring pain to other people necessarily. Sometimes we want to straighten those things out. But for the most part, I would rather spend time with the people I love and the people I cherish, the people who still bring me joy, than anybody who wants to hurt me or feels like that's their goal in life is to try to hurt me or bring me down. Let's just stay away from those people.
Yeah.
All right. Remember, we've talked about that. Usually people who step on other people, the people who push people down, it's because they're compensating for something. They're either jealous of your success or their life is falling apart so much, or they're afraid they're going to be disowned by their surroundings, their peers. They're going to step on you and try to make you look worse. So by default, people will forget about them. So if anything, someone puts you down, more than likely they just need a hug. But they're going to get it from someone else. Oh, maybe that's a good T-shirt. You look like you need a hug, but from someone else. Okay. All right. Tiff, before we get to the end, you got another quote for us?
Oh, boy.
I think you got good quotes on death or mortality, right? Yeah. You're saying, oh, boy, I saw you handed me the paper. You had 4 of them there. You're just choosing between.
I am.
You're going to read all of them anyway, right?
I am.
Yeah, sure. You only had 4, right?
To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure.
Cool. I like that. And you know what? That's a great. That's a great segue to this idea. Is mortality is. A lot of people are very religious, and they look and they say, once death comes, once I'm going to go to heaven, I'm going to go to nirvana, I'm going to go someplace wonderful where my Creator has created something, and I'm on earth for just a short period of time, and then I'm going to go here. So if that's the case, if you truly, truly believe that, then you would really know that you're really here just for a very short period of time. If you're in this other place for all eternity, then this is just a blink of the eye, right? So if that's the case, then why not make the absolute best of this? Because you've just defined this life as such a short period of time. So why would you possibly let anything bring you any negativity, especially because you're here just a blink of the eye, snap of the fingers, and you're gone. So just enjoy every moment of it. Now, on the flip side, for those people who are not religious, who believe that there's nothing after this, all right, that once you die, that's it, that's the end of it. If that's the case, then you've only got one shot at this. You know, you're going to the amusement park of life, and you're only able to ride one time. So why would you ride a ride and not absolutely love it and enjoy every twist and turn and up and down? You only get this one time. There's no getting off the ride and going back in line again. This is one time. So enjoy every aspect of it. Right?
Exactly.
That's what
every
you've got.
aspect.
There you go. So that's what we're going to do. So given that now the letter N, the last N is this. Now is the time. Life is
Right now.
Yes, life is precious, and we never know when it's going to end. Don't wait until tomorrow. Start living today. Do something today. Go. You still have time. It's 10 to 8 here, right? Yeah, 10 to 8 here, 10 to something over here. This clock over here, I don't even know what time it is. Whatever. If for those of you who are on the East Coast and it's like 10 to 9, those of you who are on the other side of the world and it's 10 to something, whatever it is, you still have time today to do something amazing. You still have time today to bring some joy into your life and to other people's lives. Just go out there and hug somebody, smile at somebody, wave to somebody, even if it's the mirror, okay? Whatever it takes, do something, because that could be your last act.
I don't know if I have a Tiffany story.
Go ahead, share away.
I don't know if I had told you this or not.
Yes.
If I did, I apologize
That's
for all
quite
the
all right.
listeners that I'm repeating myself.
I think we repeat a lot. We repeat a lot of stories in here. So go ahead, go for it.
I was in Wisconsin.
Yes.
And at the grocery store, and I had asked one of the guys that worked there where something was.
Yes.
And so he took me over there and showed me, and I was saying about what time do you get to go home,
Yeah.
you know, and he's like, oh, I love working here so much, I don't want to go home, and all
Nice.
that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
And he looks at me, he goes, could I have a hug?
Wow.
And I'm like, of course. He was a younger guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And gave him a hug, and I felt that he wanted the hug from me.
Oh,
you know,
really?
now I don't know if goes around the store. He was a worker there.
Yeah.
If he goes around talking to customers, can I have a hug? But
Right.
I thought that was so sweet that he needed a hug, and I was the one that got to give it to him.
No kidding.
It
right.
was very
I
sweet.
think
Did I tell you that?
No, I
didn't
think
tell
so.
you this story.
It sounds like vaguely familiar, but even if it is, I love that idea.
So when you said give people hugs,
Yeah.
here's this stranger, this very sweet kid that works at the grocery store, and just asked me, "Can I have a hug?"
And isn't it so sad that we live in a world now that's so frowned upon, it's so strange and stuff like that, that it's really difficult. And I'm glad I come from a family that we are huggers. Okay, we just like to hug each other all the time.
You probably hug around the neck. I can't breathe, Marty.
I can't breathe. Man. I love you so much. But that's the most important thing. And there's all kinds of studies about it, like how many hugs you're supposed to have in a day. There's a few hugs every day for just for the mere survival, but like 20 hugs a day, 20 minutes a day of hugging, touching someone else.
See, this crazy, because nowadays, especially with this damn COVID, you can't even necessarily shake hands with somebody anymore because it's like, ooh, cool.
Well, and COVID is one thing, but then there's also all this other stuff of why are you hugging me? Because I just love you as a human being,
right?
And then there's it's sexual harassment all of a sudden.
That's the other thing, absolutely.
So you can't hug anyone at work, so go out and hug strangers.
Strangers at the grocery store.
And don't even ask. Don't wait for a no. Just hug them. Okay, there you go. That's what you want to do. Just walk up to people, and if 50% love it, then you're doing great. Okay. All right. And like we said, now is the time. Just go ahead and do it. Remember, here's the other thing: is that I don't want anyone to live a life of regret. All right. So just keep saying to yourself, it's never too late, and it's never too early. All right, it's never too late and it's never too early.
It's never too late and it's never too early.
And here's this thing. My first children's book, Bacon's Bacon.
Bacon,
Okay?
Bacon, Bacon,
That's
Clarence.
Right. Yeah, there you are. You remembered Clarence. Anyway, so that book was the idea of the pig. Here's on my shirt, right? That's Clarence the pig.
Clarence.
Right. And so, but his friends call him Bacon. Anyway, it's the purpose of that book. It took me a while. That was the book that was inspired really by my daughter when she was little. And I started playing with the idea and thinking about it and postponed it, and finally wrote the book, drew for the book, created the entire book, and got it published. And she got the first copy of it, but it was like 19 years afterwards. She was an adult getting this children's book. But the thing was that I drive home that same thing. It's never too late. I'm glad I didn't say, well, she's not a kid anymore, so why am I going to give her the book? It's never too late. You do it anyway. And it's never too early. In other words, just go ahead and do it. Somebody who'd said, when I did my business book, I was like, oh, I want to proof it somewhere. I want to change this. I want to change this. He goes, publish it. He goes, it's never too early. Just publish it. It's good. You got good information there. Send it out. You can always write another one. You can always tweak it and put out a second edition, expanded edition. Just do it. Get it out there, because what good is it holding on to this information and not sharing it with the world, right? So keep that in mind. It's never too late. It's never too early. Don't regret and say, oh, I never got a chance to go to Niagara Falls. It's never too late. You can still go to Niagara Falls, so just do it. And it's never too early. Do it this weekend, okay? Think about it.
I have 3 dogs.
Okay. Well, take the dogs with you. There you go. There you go. Mark would love that. Okay. No, I bet you could rent a mobile home, one of those trailers. You could take the dogs with you, drive over there. You find someone who would dog sit for you. You got to have somebody who would dog sit for you, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they and I'm not telling you to do this. I don't want you to give me the evil eyes, but I'm just saying that it's never too early. You can say, you don't have to go, all right, let's plan on this and let's do it in 2 years. You could say, let's do it in a month. Okay. A lot of people, oh, there's going to be snow on the ground. Okay. There's going to be snow on the ground. Go anyway, right? There's lots of reasons. We are so good at coming up with excuses and reasons not to do the things we want to do. And instead we should just go ahead and go and do them.
Mark says you could come over to the house and babysit the dogs.
I would love to do that.
All 3.
Yes. But anyway, even that, just whatever it takes, come up with a reason. Don't use the dogs as an excuse if you really want to do this. Obviously, if that's the case and you say, I can't do that, then you know what? Mark stays home with the dogs. You go to Niagara Falls with your girlfriends. Yeah. Bam. Bam. Now our phone's really going off.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, in other words, we can always make excuses. We can always come up with a reason to say no. And instead, what we have to do is lead a life filled with yeses, those positives, to say, I want to do this. It's important to me. So let's figure out a way to get it done. Okay. And again, instead of saying, well, I can't do this for this reason or that. And I'm just using.
I'm a good excuser.
Yeah. But I'm using Niagara Falls as an excuse or an example. Yeah. But it's anything that we might want to say, I just want to go see these people. I want to go and do this one thing. I want to do whitewater rafting. I want to eat Taiwanese food, whatever it is. It's just we come up with 1,000 reasons. I can't do it now. Maybe I'll do it later. Maybe I'll do it next week. And then all of a sudden one day we're like, oh, I can't do it. That thing that I want to do is no longer available. Okay, I should have done it when I wanted. That's the life of regret. Okay, but instead I want you to say, if you missed out on something, take it as a learning lesson. And say to yourself, I really, really wanted to do that. If it was something that was in my core to do, I would have done it. Obviously, it wasn't. But I'm not going to allow those kind of adventures to disappear anymore.
Right.
I'm going to treat my life as an adventure. Ride that ride. Tighten that seatbelt and take it for a spin. All right, you got one last quote for us, right?
Oh boy. Okay.
This is going to be the best one I could tell.
I believe that every human soul is teaching something to someone nearly every minute here in Mortality.
Completely. That whole idea, we talked about this before, about you are either winning or learning. So everything that you do, you are either succeeding in what you do, or if it's a little bit different, then you've learned something. Every time we do something, every time we look at someone, every time we smile at someone, we're teaching them that people are good, okay? We're teaching the positives. Diwali, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, just ended the holiday of Diwali.
Oh, yes.
Right, yes. And that was the festival of lights, the string of lights. And what they do is they emphasize the idea that there's darkness and light. And it's kind of like the Asian...
Yin and yang?
Right, yeah, the yin and yang, right, where there's positive and negative. There's darkness and light. And in all of darkness, there's a little light. In all of everything that's light, there's a little darkness. So in other words, in all of evil, there's something good there you can find. And beware that in all things that are all good, there's also sometimes a little bit of evil. So try to avoid that. All right. And it's just that type of thing is find that light, find that wonderful part of it, celebrate it, just be part of it. Make life worth living.
Oh.
Okay. That's what it's all about. Right, Tiff?
That's what it's all about.
There you go. So what I want everyone to do is remember, just keep in mind what we talked about. Build the courage to believe in ourselves, seek out adventures, cherish the present moment, communicate with the people around us, and just start living life now.
Okay.
Shoot.
It's kind of off the topic,
That's
but it
okay.
was, I wanted to say it, whatever
Yeah.
we were talking about. Anyways, yesterday, and I'm
Yes.
sure, the Year Without a Santa Claus was on.
Oh.
So I think that was, what, in the 60s?
Yeah, probably.
Was that in the
yeah,
60s?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So the Year Without a Santa Claus was with with Heat Miser and
Yeah.
Freeze Miser
Okay.
in that whole
Yeah.
song. But it was so funny because back then, Mrs. Claus was talking to Freeze Miser.
Yeah.
It was kind of like with the camera.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like oh gosh, what's it called? The on the phone that you could see.
Like FaceTime.
FaceTime, thank
Yeah.
you. I could not think of FaceTime. So it was kind of like FaceTime. So back in the 60s, here they're showing kind of like a FaceTime because she's on the phone
Yes.
talking.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
picture-
Santa has always been ahead of time.
Obviously he was.
He had to wait until it was affordable to mass produce it so he can give it to kids at Christmas
But
time.
we were talking
then-
about something in the beginning of the show, something about, I don't even remember, but I wrote it down. It's like, oh, yeah, I remember. And
I
was
thought
writing
you were
it
going to
down.
bring up the idea that they had to change and they had to love each other. They had to cherish the moment, and they had to do that taking one foot in front of another.
Yeah, that's Rudolph. That's not
That's-
Year Without a Santa.
You sure? I
Yeah.
thought the Friesmeister and the...
Yeah. That song is Put One Foot in Front.
that's not in that movie?
No, this is Mr.
Oh, yeah,
Freeze
but
Miser.
what's the song they sing when they're good guys and they're happy together? They end up being nice
Well,
guys.
Mother Nature had to get involved.
Yeah.
And she said, you guys are going to cooperate and you're going to bend a
All
little
right.
bit for each.
Nice. All right. Good for her.
Yeah.
Mama always knows best.
Mama.
All right. With that, I think we're completely out of time
Are
here,
we?
Tiff.
Am I done babbling trying to waste the time?
And we never want to waste time. I was wondering where you're going with the story. That was beautiful.
Well, I guess it's Snow Miser, not Freeze Miser.
Okay. Oh,
so
someone
I'm
told you.
saying, yeah,
Nice.
I was wrong.
All
I
right.
apologize.
So with that,
Okay.
have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
All right?
Thanksgiving to
yes,
you.
Make sure you eat too much. Okay.
Always.
All right. So are you going to have turkey?
I'm going to eat all of Santa's cookies.
Nice. Atta girl. All right. Good for you.
And only you and I probably
Yes.
understand. Well, Christy probably does
there's
too.
A few people who understand that. All right, with that, from all the folks, the entire staff of Bacon Bits with Master Happiness, we'd all like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll be back next week, Monday.
Yes.
All right. So
Woohoo, I can't wait.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Tiffany, say goodnight.
Good night, Tiffany.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.